Welcome back to ModelT-Tips-.com. That's our website. Glad to be back with you. I'm really kind of excited about today because I'm going to introduce you to a new product that's being made to support our Model T hobby. A gentleman by the name of Mike Hartman, one of our members in the Arkansas Tin Lizzies. You may remember him if you're a TT guy. He's the one that a number of years ago started building the high-speed ring gears for the ring and pinion gears for the TT truck. He took it upon himself to build early and late drive plates. These were manufactured out of 4140, I believe. Bill will correct me if I'm wrong. They're CNC'd, they're one piece, there's no rivets involved in it, you'll notice. Pretty much followed the Ford drawing completely all the way through, with the exception that he made this a little beefier down here, seeing how we don't have any rivets, to give it a little, what he thought might be needed for a little extra strength. But again, these are one piece, no rivets, made to an exact tolerance. These are absolutely magnificent, and they, right out of the box, if everything else is squared up, this will run very, very true. There is a difference in the fingers between early and late drive plates. So if you were to replace one of these, you would want to take the rivet loose, get your old pins out, get your fingers out rather, and supplied with the drum are pins that will slide in. But rather than being riveted over like the originals were, Mike was a little concerned that maybe when we press these, if we got a little carried away, too big of a hammer, whatever, that we might create a problem on this being able to move. So it's provided with a small hole cotter key in, and there is no pressure other than this thing just runs up and down. So a cotter key here is a good application for it. So there is, like I said, there is a difference. Late ones are thinner, smaller pin, and the earlier ones are the big pins. So you got to reuse your fingers, but you don't have to worry about the pins. They come with it. These are really an excellent product. I can't say enough, but I will say one thing. Bill Howell, I'm at Bill's car barn today. Bill Howell and Mike Bender, neither one of us are involved in this undertaking. This is all Mike Hart. Was told that he probably needed a new drive plate when he was over here at Bill's pouring Babbitt and doing his rebuilding an engine, and he said, oh, I need a good drive plate? Well, hell, I'll just make one. So that's what started him down this road. We've got the original 6 or 7 that he made. He's in production now to make another 25. I think I saw numbers like 12 of the 12 and 15, something like that. 15 of the 26, 27s, because those are sometimes hard to find. And I think we got an ongoing thing here. So these there'll be 25 of them available at the 1st of March, somewhere in there. So if you're interested in one of these, there will be Mike's contact information at the end of this video, and please reach out to him and support him. A little bit more about Mike. Mike has 3 big, huge, very expensive CNC machines. He makes parts for the government for things like cruise missiles and stuff. He can't tell us what it's for, but at any rate, knows how to build something to an exact tolerance. He did, like I said, he did follow the Ford drawings, but he did take liberty on not doing the rivets, and a little beefier down here. But these things, with a little bit of work, can become very, very accurate. If you remember, we did a video, one of our videos on transmission overhauls. We gave a number of, was really thrilled if we had 4 to 5, 6 thousandths maximum run out. And that was using old drive plates, old brake drums, and what have you. With this, I can get it to where it's within a thousandths in a scoosh. What we have set up here, and I'll hear in just a moment, got a couple of digital readout and a dial indicator. These are on new main shafts by Dave Nolte, new brake drums complete with shafts from Dave Nolte. But it did take a little bit of work to get the companion flange on the drum to where when we mounted it all together, we achieved this very, very acceptable amount of run out. Why do you want to get run out? Well, we drive our cars faster today. Anything that you can do to get things in alignment and balanced makes the engine happier, lives longer, and runs down the road for a lot longer time, like I said. So I have a Starrett digital on this that's smarter than I am and reads out to numbers I don't understand. We're reading out to the 5th decimal point. So right now it's showing, well, I don't even know what that number is. But at any rate, I'm going to spin this around. But prior to doing that, this is pretty sensitive. I've got bearing clearance in here. You've got to have bearing clearance. So how I grab hold of it or push or shove on it kind of affects the reading, but I'm going to do my darndest to just turn it slow enough. Right there I'm reading 5/10 thousandths of an inch. There's 6. 6.5, 7, 8, 9, and I should start coming back down here. There's 7, 5, 4, 2, and back around. So I've got less than a thousandths run out on this 26-27 drive plate combination, new drum, new main shafts. That's very, very acceptable. Thrilled to death. I can't do that with used stuff, even truing it up the best we can because the surfaces are so bad. And while I'm talking about that, why don't we just touch base? If you have a drive plate that has a lot of taper here, you've got to get rid of that. And especially if it's tapered bigger OD at the top than it is at the bottom. If it's the other way, well, you can kind of fudge and time save a fourth main in. But normally these have to be trued up. These surfaces are usually pretty rough, so it's very difficult to get good accurate readings to know that you've got center. Same thing with the brake drum shaft. They'll have a little bearing wear, they might be rough. You know, there's all kinds of horrible conditions that these things could be in. So working with something that's brand new is really, really nice. You can really do a heck of a job. The rivets could be loose in your existing drive plate. That can be repaired. Again, I refer you to I think we covered some of that on our earlier video on transmission overhaul. But if the holes are so walled out because the rivets were so loose in between the drive plate, cast iron drive plate, and the steel shaft, trying to get that back to dead center is just almost impossible. Can be done, takes a lot of work. Let's take a look at our pre-25 or 25 and earlier drum. Here I just have a Starrett, reads in 10 thousandths increments. So 1 is a thousandths. And if I turn this one around, there's about a 5/10 thousandths, almost a thousandths, thousandths and 2/10. And now I'll come back around here and pick up 0 again. So again, a little over a thousandths worth of run out on it. It's an excellent product. Might not be for everybody. The price point on them is $700. But if you consider the fact that buying a brake drum with a new shaft on it, they're $765 for a 26, 27. Might be just 25, 50 bucks less, maybe something like that for the earlier version. But so really, the price point isn't too bad. Again, this is something that Bill and I are not involved in, other than we're putting together this presentation to get it onto our website and get it out there, kind of help Mike move his product. You'll reach out to Mike to purchase these things direct off of him. And again, that information is close to this video. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure introducing you to this product. Buy these things. Reach out and contact Mike Hartman directly to put your order in. These will be available, like I said, first part of March.